Hi, Terry here again. I'm just beginning to draft the manuscript for a book that focuses on what it means to be mature, or what it means to mature, to keep maturing or to reach maturity, whatever that means. And I started in the last few days by looking at Merriam-Webster, the dictionary, and then the thesaurus. I love dictionaries because they try to capture what we generally mean by a term mature. What do most think about, or what do most mean when they say something is mature or something is maturing or somebody or something has reached maturity? And I looked at it and decided I don't ever want to become mature. I'll just tell you that. I would not consider it a compliment if somebody said, "Oh, Terry, you're so mature." Let me tell you why. What we generally mean, excuse me, when we talk about being mature, mature means to have completed natural growth and development. Completed, done. Growth, transformation, human development. We've become mature. That process has ended. And that would mean for me saying that I am mature, therefore, as far as continuing to grow and develop emotionally, mentally, spiritually, I'm done. I've reached my final state. And I simply don't believe that's true. I think there's always further to go, more development to happen, more transformation. I certainly feel that in my own life, that I have so much still to discover, to learn, to develop inside of myself spiritually. Just my mentors spiritually are much more the mystics than some sort of highly successful pastor or somebody who's a great teacher. No, it's the mystics that have this deep inner experience and deep knowing and not knowing. So spiritually, am I there yet? Intellectually, I still have so much to learn on the external, but also so much to learn internally. I know my clock speed is slowing down as I age, but there are other processes that are gearing up. Spending more time thinking about things, incorporating experience, seeing things from more an independent observer place. So intellectually, I still have. So don't call me mature in terms of that my development is done. Then there's another interesting word that keeps reappearing, that to be mature is to be ripe. Ripe. I'm thinking, wow, if I'm ripe, what do you do with, for example, say a ripe wine? That's a different term a little bit. That would be as attained its peak. It's ripe, it's ready, it becomes fine wine. Well, what do you do with fine wine? I suppose you could pop the cork and drink it, or you put it on a shelf. And I think about all the people who see themselves as having matured and they allowed themselves to be put on a shelf, or in industry or society or leadership, that we say a person is mature or ripe. We put them on a shelf, we set them aside, we store them someplace. And I'd hate to think of Laguna Woods, the retirement community that I live in now, that I've been shelved. I've been put into some sort of a wine cellar, a retirement center, let's say. So ripe, or what do you do with ripe fruit? Well, what happens to ripe fruit? It starts to decline, it starts to rot, do we expect that once we've reached maturity that we start to decline? No, I don't want to be called mature. I don't see myself as mature. And by the way, the opposite of, in my mind, of mature is not immature. Okay, if I'm not mature, then I must be immature. No, the opposite of mature is maturing. I'm still in the process of maturation. of growing, of developing, of being transformed. And I expect in my 70s now, my low mid 70s, I don't see any reason why, however long I live, however long I've given, the ability to keep thinking and wondering and exploring, I don't see any reason why my growth, transformation, my human development should slow any way less than the first 3/4 of my life, let's say. All that growth and development and excitement and turmoil of childhood, of adolescence, and then younger adulthood, stretching and learning and exploring, I expect that to continue because I am far, far from mature in that I'm not ripe yet. I'm not fully developed. I'm not at some sort of destination point. I am continuing to mature. So think about that for yourself. As soon as you decide, I am mature, then you not only start retiring from maybe raising a family, retiring from career life, retiring from old routines, you start retiring from what brought so much life before. And you either shelf yourself, store yourself, or you see yourself as just in inevitable decline. No, don't call yourself mature. Call yourself maturing. And are you more mature than you were 10 years ago or 20 years ago? Hopefully, because the maturing has continued. And 10 or 20 years, if I live that long and I'm still functioning and curious about things, I expect to be more mature than I am now. So always keep maturing. So think about how you've been thinking about yourself. Just ponder that a little bit. I hope you will say, nah, I've decided not to ever see myself as mature. Ever maturing from birth until death. Just continuing to mature and finding models that keep moving me forward, keep moving me onward toward maturity. New heroes or models or mentors, phenomenal. So let's keep maturing. Have a great week.